Here we go. This is on location. This is our loading day. Here's the scenario. You find yourself on vacation and you've been riding on buses and trains and planes, and you've been doing a lot of, maybe sitting, and you need to load. Look around wherever you're at. You may not have weights. There's no weights in this particular building that I'm in, but guess what I found? I found this. It's like about a 10 or 15 pound griddle. So get your loading ready. And I filled a bag of beans. I hope you can hear me and see me okay. I loaded this is about 15 pounds. So I have my carries ready to go. Okay. So I'm going to put them there, ready to pick up, and we're ready to go. So I'm thinking you're seeing me okay. Yeah? Okay. All right. Here's my chair. I'm going to take my hand and drop them and pull them back. Okay? I'm going to open up the chest, drop them, and pull them back. I'm hoping I'm not cutting off my head back there. Maybe that's better. Is that better? How's that? Okay. So when you start to move, shoulders, neck is a big deal. Right there. Yeah, just right in front. So I'm going to bring my hands right here in the middle, pull in my tummy, then act like somebody's standing behind you with their fingertips under your ribs, and they get pulled up. See, if I pull my rib up, then when I put my hands up here and I pull back to start to open the chest, I'm not going to hurt my shoulders. So you're going to pull back, both together. Then you're going to open one, and as you're going to open it until you start to feel a little stretch here. Now we are still being warmed up, but I have this hand here. My rib cage is up. I'm breathing through my nose, breathing in. Then I'm going to bring this in. And as I'm doing this little work with my upper body, I'm going to do little steps forward, little steps forward, little steps back, little steps back. I want a little ambulation. So here, again, I don't have my elbows lifted. They're down because I want your shoulders down. I want you to breathe through your nose, and you're going to pull your elbows back as you ambulate forward. And you see, as I took that step, you know what I did? Instead of taking the step like we normally do, like this, no, I'm going to rib cage up it. My hands are here. My shoulders are down. And I'm going to keep my rib cage up as I bring my elbow back and I take a step. And every step I take, I pull my rib cage up again. See this? So right there, rib cage comes up. See, I'm just pulling the elbow back. I'm taking my rib cage up. Now I'm going to go back. When I step back, I'm going to be careful to roll from the ball of the foot to the heel. I'm going to keep my elbows down. I'm going to keep my rib cage up. So every time I mention these little parameters of your body position, they're important. So put them in place as you're ambulating through this little warm-up that we're doing. And now I'm going to start reaching as I'm ambulating back. And as I come forward, I'm going to take special notice that I'm not doing what? Everybody should say, leaning forward. Because this is what we don't want to do, this kind of thing. It makes us look like we're ready to push up daisies. And we're not, okay? So, rib cage up, tummy is tight, shoulders are down. I'm keeping my hands up here for a reason. Some of you, I'm sure, especially I know who, is saying, do you know how long I've had my hands up here? And I would tell you, yes, I do. Now, as I go back, I'm going to keep my toes forward because I don't want to go out like a duck. I don't want to take my hands out like a duck. You can come all the way up to the chair. They can't see you.
Okay.
I have an exerciser with me. She doesn't want to be seen. Her name is Maggie. Okay, it's one of our house guests. Okay, keep your hands here. Keep your hands here. See, I'm not way up here. See that? I'm down here, but my shoulders are down. My hands are here, but my elbows are down here. Okay, so as you're ambulating, very carefully. Okay, this kind of moving, slow moving, constant moving, opening at the hinges, keeping my knees soft as I ambulate backwards, is all getting our feet, our whole ankle, our spine warmed up. Like right now, the spine is just, woo. Okay, now ambulate backward, open them back now both, and reach back as you bring your rib cage up. Okay, now I'm going to cross over and I'm going to stay on balance. And if I know that I have balance problems, I'm going to be very close to a table so that I can put my hand on a table if I need to. Because when you do appreciable balance work, you will get yourself off balance. Okay, keep these back, keep my shoulders down. My rib cage is up. I'm breathing through my nose. I'm going to come back to center. This is neutral, but your rib cage is up. Your shoulders are down. You're open your hands. Now turn your hands up. Now I'm pointing backwards. So I'm doing everything in this workout, number one, to prepare us for some loaded moves, but number two, to counteract the position that we tend to be in when we travel, which is hunkered down. And I'll sit down. See, my thumbs are pointing back. Take a big breath through your nose as I step over, and I'm just on one toe. I'm on one foot. My shoulders are pressing down. I am pushing you on your balance. Your knees need to be soft, not locked. And come back, and this step over, this simple step over. And at first, you have to be very careful because if you step over too far, you will possibly lose your balance. Okay, so flatten out your feet, come back, now bring them down. Okay, how you feel? Now open and come right in here. Now drop your shoulders as if I was pushing you on your shoulders, and bring your rib cage up and rib cage up and rib cage up. See how I'm pushing my hips forward? My knees are soft. I'm pushing my rib cage up and my hips forward. So I'm doing our first hyperextension of our back. Okay, now I'm going to take my hands. I'm going to step forward with one leg. So I'm in what? Everybody should be yelling what this is anytime I go into this. A split stance. A very important thing to do for balance, proprioceptive. And you're going to be find yourself going like this. Now, if you want to really stress yourself in a good way, when you do your split stance, if you're one foot in front of the other one, that's going to be very, very balance challenged because you're going to be doing this. So I want you to be in a split stance, but you don't have to be foot over heel. Okay, the back foot needs to be straight, not turned, and that's going to push you off. It's meant to. So widen your base. Step wide. That will be helpful. Now, don't lock your knees. Don't lock your knees. Rib cage up. Now I'm in a split stance. correct? So I'm going to do one of the first, I'm going to move you into one of the first loading positions. So make sure you're moved over so you can put your hand on a table if you need it. Don't use it if you don't need it. Try to use it, but have it there if you need it. Bend your knee, okay? Bring it back. See the back leg? I want to focus on bending that. Don't worry about this one, it'll take care of itself. Come back, okay? So I'm gonna open my hands out. Now you notice I'm not going up here, right? I'm coming down here, but my hands are open because I'm trying to counteract what? I'm trying to counteract this. The minute I open my hand and point back with my thumb, I open, okay? Now bend that back knee, and you might be careful on your foot because you're gonna go into the ball of your foot. And your foot in the back needs to be straight. Yeah, be close to the table. That's where you're gonna get your balance work. Okay, you bend that back knee and then you come back to the heel, get a little closer. There you go. Now keep the legs straight. I'm working with a guest in our class. And so I'm watching her and I'm making corrections, and I'm probably making corrections for you that are tuned in. See how I'm coming in? Lift your heel in the back. Yeah, and then come back. Keep your hands out. Keep your shoulders down. Take a big breath through your nose. Here we go. See this? See this? See this? See this? So here's what I want you to do, you guys. Keep your hands out. Keep your shoulders down. Take a big breath. Rib cage up. Bend that back foot. Go into the ball of the foot. Come on down. Come on down as far as you feel you can. See where your end point is. Okay? Now, I'm doing this as somebody with a replaced hip and a replaced knee. Okay? So I want you to find what your end point is. Take a breath. Okay, now start to pretend something with me. As you're doing this, and you're coming in there, you should feel your muscles just kind of going, what's she doing? What's she doing? Or what's he doing? Hang on down there, take a breath. Rib cage up, point back, and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a breath through the nose, rib cage up, 6, 7. Now hold. Now come up, put your heel down. Keep this knee soft. Drop your shoulders, and then bring your hands right here. See that? Now bend, bend, bend. Keep that heel down. Keep that heel down and back. Make sure you're doing this next to a wall or a very solid counter because it is pushing your balance. It's supposed to. And it's going to give you a better awareness of what work you need to do. And come back. Take a big deep breath. Now we got another foot to do. So I'm going to step a little wider than a normal step. Okay, so come back. Check your postural line up. What's your postural line up? My chin is tucked because I want my ear over my shoulder. That's number one. Because if you do this whole thing and you're hanging out here like this, you're going to strain your neck. Number one. Yes, it's harder because if you're used to doing this, you're going to have to realign, okay? So now I'm going to take that other foot forward, okay? So now I'm going to be on the other leg. So bring the other leg forward. Oh, yeah. There you go. So make sure you change lead legs. Okay, so I'm going to take a wider than normal step. Take a rib cage up. Bring my hands down here, and just by turning them out like this and pulling them back a little, it's going to open me up. But drop your shoulders, rib cage up, bend the back knee, and you're going to bring your heel up a little. You're going to see your end point with your quads. So right now, if you're with me on this, your thumbs are out, your rib cage is up, and you need to see where's your end point? Where are you feeling this? Where are you feeling this? Thumbs out, take a breath. Take a big deep breath in through the nose, in through the nose, in through the nose. Stay down there, stay down there, stay down there. Find your end point. Where can you hang on and hang balance? Take a breath, take a breath. So this is ushering us into our loading part, and then come back up, okay? So from those two split stance that we just did, you should have woken these up. You should be feeling it right there, okay? Take a big deep breath again. Take your hands and come front to back, okay? And we're gonna do a little hip hinge and come up. So here's the thing, I'm gonna do this repeatedly. So whenever I say hip hinge, when you go down and back and down and back, see like this? Your palms are up, but when I come down, my knees are gonna come over my toes a little bit. It shouldn't hurt. If it hurts, you gotta push your butt back a little more, okay? So that's called a hip hinge. See that? So soften the knees and then rotate back like you're gonna shine your taillights. And then come forward and then go back. See, that's what I want you to do, that right there. See, I want you to hip hinge. See, my back is very extended. My rib cage is up. And then I come up. And I come back and forth. And now, this quick work with my whole body opens me up instead of crimping me down. So I want to really think about what I'm doing with my hip and my quad. I'm going to keep my shoulders down, keep my rib cage up, breath, and I'm turning. So I'm doing that figure 8 with my spine. Take a big breath with my vertebrae. So come up, come back, take a big breath, take a big breath, take a big breath, take a big breath. Shake out, shake out, shake out. I'm trying to see what you're gonna, I just want you to do this. Okay, you might do it on the table, but you need something to hang on to. I don't know what to do. So I'm gonna do this. I'm trying to set her up. See, I'm gonna do this. Okay, and you definitely need to, oh, I know what you do. I know what you do. No, just move back there, move back there. You're gonna put your foot on the bench. Face that bench, just like that, like catty corner. Can you just do that?
Yeah, without too close to
yeah,
here,
go that way. I'm getting her set up, you guys. So get yourself set up so that you are on your chair. And see, I'm doing it without touching anything here. I could come back here. The point is, anytime you do a high 90-degree angle lift, yeah, low, that's perfect. Have something that you can hang on to. Move it back a little bit so that you don't have to lean. There you go, perfect. So now if you're set up so that you have something that you can hang on to if you need it, that's all I want you to do, okay? Because you're going to be doing single leg lifts. And in order to do that, you've got to be shifting. See? Get really good at shifting. And here's the thing. Some people may look at this move and they may say, oh, you know, I can do that, no big deal. When you do a single leg move and you bring that leg up here, the shifting that has to go on through your feet, through your body, through your legs is huge in keeping your balance. Huge. So step a little wider, shift. When you bring that leg up, try to bring it up as high as you can. When you're just starting this, don't go up to a 90 degrees. That's a lot, okay? And by the way, the more you get used to bringing your leg up to a 90-degree hip hinge right here, the higher percentage of not falling you fall into. If it's very difficult for you to keep your balance as you're doing this kind of lifting, You got to work on it. You will get it back. Practice this. This one, because you're doing single leg moves and you're balancing and you're shifting, okay? And don't do it so hard that you don't get fully incorporated into your supporting leg. Your toe needs to be forward in the back.
Oh,
Yeah, this one is the one you always want to turn out.
I know. Okay.
So try not to, and it's going to throw you because it's your balance. Okay, so here we go. So I hope you've been doing this while I'm correcting my subject over here, Maggie. Okay, so see this? See this? This kind of shifting? The shifting, see this? This is what I want you to get really good at. And I want you to be able to hold your balance while you bring your leg up. This is a stepping stone, okay? So if you do nothing else besides the carries that I'm gonna do, and this, and working on this, and get really good at this, you're gonna lower your chances of falling because it's gonna work on your balance. But the whole time that you're doing this move, you gotta have a rib cage up, shoulders down, breathing through your nose. Boom. Right there. Right there. Keep your toes forward on the one up and the one that's on the ground. So you may get up to doing 3 sets of 20 of these. And when you're doing it, look up. You know your counter is there. If you start to get off balance, don't look down. Why? Because this is what we don't want to do. We don't want to do that, do we? Then bring that head up. Have your wall, your counter, your table, right where you can reach it if you start to lose balance. But don't just look down. You know what's down there, the floor is. You know where you're trying to move into. So before you put your foot up, make sure your knee that's supporting you is soft. Don't lock it. Because that's the other thing we do. When we bring our leg up, we lock our supporting leg. That is going to send you to the floor. Plus, it's not engaging your muscles. So it's a shifting, tight, lift, lift, lift. And yeah, you're going to do these like a high rate. But here's the thing. Don't start going fast. You're going to think, how am I lifting? Am I in full control? Or am I just kind of doing this? So you want to really be lifting, working the whole time. Okay, great. Now we're going to work to wake up our hamstring, and then we're going to start to lift, okay? So I hope that today you have your carries, okay? And we're going to do some body weight loading, okay? But before we do the body weight loading, I'm going to wake up these, okay? And if you've had any kind of foot surgery, knee surgery, hip, the hamstrings have been compromised. Trust me. I'm going to step close to the, yeah. Because you're going to go one, this is going to be one-legged things again, you guys. And I can do it over here and have this ready to touch, you know. So my point is, as Kay will tell you, don't listen to Jean when she says, get where you can put your hand on something, okay? So put your hand on something, even though I don't have one here. I want everybody to be where they can touch something for balance control. So I'm gonna step here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna strike a match. The minute I strike the match, I have to say rib cage up. And at that point, you should feel every single contraction all up your back extensors, okay? So I'm right here. I'm gonna strike a match, and then I'm gonna go heel. And see, I have the bench that brings me to a stopping point. And when you do that, you're gonna be in a single leg stance. And you're gonna be doing a backward motion. See that? And you just come right up, and you see the position of my knee. See the position of my knee? It's not here. It's here. You see that? Yes. Take that heel up from there. It's a whole different ball game. Don't lock. Don't lock. Keep your hand on the table. I want you to keep your hand on the table the whole time, so that you do the right position. Keep the knee bent. Here we go. I'm going to be right here. Keep your hand on the table. And you come right here. Rib cage up. And then come back down. Pull. Come back down. Pull. Come back down. Pull. Hold on to the table. Pull. So this is hamstring. Ah, hamstring. See how I'm bending? Boom. Put your weight into it. Boom. Breathe down. Right there. Right here. So bend as you lower. Come up. Bend. Come up. You should be feeling this. And then come back. You should be right in here. Okay? Take a big breath. Ready? Do a strike of a match. Put your hand on the table. Yeah, I would rather have it on the table than the stool because it's more solid. So I'm just right here. See, shoulders are down, rib cage is up, and I strike the match. Then I'm gonna bring that heel up. See that? And I'm gonna be right here in this. So the match is struck, and I'm gonna go boom, and lower, boom, lower. Take a breath. Right there. And back down. Rib cage up. Drop your shoulders. Take a big breath. So it's right here. Boom. So these are single leg, actually, squats. It's a single leg push. Okay, it's the same thing as a leg press. And this is very, very effective for your hamstring in this position. Boom. See how I lower? Boom. And you're bringing that heel up. Yeah, keep your leg back. Bend, up, straighten, down, now straighten. Yes, don't lock it. Right there, don't lock it. Just don't lock it, right? Yeah, straighten it, don't lock it. Come, two more. Here we go. Ah, should feel it here. And come back down. Okay. Now you're gonna use that chair in the back to sit, or the bench. See if you can sit on the bench. Okay, everybody go wide. Come here, and then come back up. Use your hands on this one. This is your table. This is your chair at your table. Go wide, okay? Use your hands right here. The butt goes to the back, in the knees. Rib cage up. Find where you're going. Go down as far as you can. Now go to your heels. Go into your heels. Lower, 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 lower. Hold. Take a breath. 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 Come back up. So you should be right here. Okay? Don't lock your knees. Don't lock your knees. Okay? Ready? So this is our last one before we do some carries. Take a breath. So just what we've done today should have woken up your whole back, all your gluteal, your hamstrings, and now your quads. We already opened up through the upper body with our warm-up this morning, right? We had it, our elbows were aimed down. I'm reviewing. Our elbows were aimed down, and then I opened, but I kept my shoulders down. These are not locked. These. See, I'm reviewing. Bring those elbows back. Just like that. Hands are here, elbows are down. Bring it back. Now open one hand. Drop your shoulder. Way out there. See how I'm kind of like riding a horse, a really tall horse. That's because I want tension. I want these to be firing. Boom. Out. Come back in. So this is our review. way like that. And if I do these with my palms up, it's a whole different ball of wax. Drop your shoulders, ribcage up, bring them in. Boom. See, I'm coming right down now. Now I'm gonna turn, ribcage up, go into your heels, press, come down. You feel this here. But if you need to go down, that's fine. But I'm pretending that I'm gonna sit down, but I don't. I'm not sitting down, I'm just pretending. Bend those knees, push your butt back, heels, breath, heels, and come back up.
Oh, I feel it.
Yes. That's how you're supposed to get up and sit down all day long. I don't care if it's a toilet. I don't care if it's a bench. I don't care if it's a seat. You sit down that way. And now we're gonna go ahead and sit down. So number one, I'm gonna go a little wider. Okay, that's number one. A little wider than shoulder, just a little bit. Come in just a little bit. There. I'm gonna hip hinge. As when I'm hip hinging, my knees are soft. And my rib cage is up. And I'm gonna go ahead, here's where I'm landing. Don't lean on your hands, just feel it. Now go into your heels, shift, come down, and you're down, okay? Every time that you stand up or sit down is your chance to get stronger in your core. But many of us just totally blow that off. We don't even employ it because we use wrong mechanics. So let's just practice it 2 or 3 times because we're gonna do it here in just a minute with a load. And I can't load you if I don't think you're doing it properly. How's that? So without saying anything, if you were gonna go into a stand up, just do it. I'm not gonna say anything. Just your feet are here, you're a little bit wider than a normal stance. And knowing what you know right now, just go ahead and stand up. Just stand up. If you came in with your knees, or if you felt like, oh, I need to do, no, don't do that. It's right through here. It's all this. It's a shift, swing, bend the knees, go into the heels, come down, keep your chin tucked, keep your chin tucked. Here's where I'm landing, and I'm just gonna hang out here for a little bit. I'm just gonna look around, see if I see any chocolate on the floor. See if I can grab some chocolate pieces. Then I'm gonna sit down. Do this a couple of times in a day, especially if you're on location, because you're not gonna have your regular opportunities that you normally do around your house. That's one of the benefits of travel. It makes you use your brain differently. You have to, things are different, right? Okay. The sitting down and the standing up is a big deal as far as your ability to not fall and to have better balance. So we're gonna do it again, and we're gonna do one more move, and then we're gonna pick up our weight load, okay? So I'm gonna go into a stand up. I don't wanna hurt my knees. I wanna strengthen here, and I wanna strengthen here. So I'm gonna hip hinge. I'm gonna say rib cage up. I'm gonna drop my chin, because I don't wanna go into this doing this. Because if I constantly do this, I'm gonna start hurting my neck. And I'm not gonna make it stronger, right? So rib cage is up, tummy is in. Okay, shoulders are down. I'm gonna come up, and right now, as I lift my rib cage, I keep my chin tucked, I'm gonna push into my heels. And I'm gonna have lift off, right? So I'm gonna go into the heels, I'm gonna really contract, and come right here. Boom, right there, keep shoulders down. And I'm gonna hang out here for just a little bit. Then I'm gonna come up, shift, do this with me, tighten, drop your shoulders, release your toe. Don't think of bringing the knee up yet. Don't do it, that's a mistake. Just lift your toe. Totally get on this leg, push your butt back, and lift your toe. Then come back down. Act like you're gonna sit down, tap. It should all be here. Come back up, shift, ribcage up, bend, and just lift your toe. And back down. Breath. Lift your toe. Back down. Okay. That sequence. Squat. Hold. Stand. Shift. Lift the toe. Knee is bent. Push your butt back. Lift your toe. Hold. Come back down. Shift. Okay, lift your toe, bend the knee, lift your toe. This is my weak one because this is my hip replace side. And come back down, stand back up. That sequence will keep you from falling, okay? Now, here's my load. You have your weights. So what I want you to do is either pick up a bag or pick up your weights. So what I've loaded here is approximately 12 to 15 pounds, okay? This is gonna go to Maggie. She's whining.
I am.
Okay, make sure your tummy's tight. This is what I'm gonna hold. And this is almost like 20 pounds. This is heavy. Okay, so here's my carry. So you might say, what's the value in holding it on one side? Oh, I don't have 2 weights to put on either side. Well, yeah, there's value in doing that. However, there's even some of the research has shown probably even greater value in having it on one side. Go ahead and put it on your other side. And I want you to do a little experiment. As you're standing here, number 1, don't lock your knees. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, it's normal for this to want to come down a little, but don't give into it. Don't like just do that. Drop both shoulders. Okay, drop both shoulders. And then see how it feels as you go from one side to the other side, okay? My knees are soft right now. My rib cage is very lifted, all right? I'm gonna keep my chin tucked because I wanna keep my ear over my shoulder. That's number 1. I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna do that very first move that I introduced today when I started going into our strength mode. I'm gonna take a step and come back. Just do that, both feet. See, take a step and come back. Notice how you're doing this. Do you lose focus up here? It's gonna come down a little bit, especially when you have something this heavy. And seriously, this is this is a heavy griddle, but it has a handhold, so it's perfect. I just loaded a bag with about 12 cans of beans for Maggie. Okay, see how I stepped? See, I come back. So here's what happens. When you step forward and back and you're loading on one side, the other side has to counter that downward trajectory, that load. That's the benefit. And it can be a great benefit if you just think a little as you're stepping forward and you get in your, what you know, and I've said it 10,000 times if you've been in my class anytime at long at all, you say rib cage up. Notice how your feet are when you're doing this step. And see, I'm just taking kind of a normal step. See, I want you to get used to ambulating with a weight. That's number 1. That's why I didn't go just into the exercise that we're going to be doing. I wanted my back to get a readout of what's the load that I'm asking my back, my shoulders, my hips, my knees, and my feet to deal with, okay? See how I'm just stepping? I'm rolling that back foot like a normal step. Take a big breath. through your nose. When you take that step, say rib cage up, drop your shoulders, come back. Don't lock those knees. So I'm trying to get your back to get a readout. I'm not giving into this. It's gonna go down a little bit. It's pretty close to 15 or more pounds. Okay, but as I step forward, again, the reason I do this repeatedly with my load, okay, drop both shoulders. I want my back, so bring your foot back, bring your foot forward, okay, just like you're gonna walk, just a normal step. But I'm doing this as an exercise in your neutral spine. And then I change from one side to the other, because now that shoulder, that hip, that back, that foot, everything, your balance systems have to change when you offload and then you upload, okay? So I do that enough to give my body a chance to recognize what is my working load that I've got to maintain here, okay? So now I'm gonna take by both hands, perfect, and I'm gonna bring it right up here. And do you remember, look at my elbows. Look at your elbows, okay? I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna keep my elbows in and down, yes. And then I'm gonna come back down. You see that? Now we're ready. Now we're ready to go into that move that I did at the very beginning after we kind of had warmed up in a split stance. So when I take my step, I want to be able to bring my heel up and I want to keep balance. And now I don't have a hand free. So what does that mean? That means if this is new to me, I am not going to step. I'm not going to take a step that's very close, because this is a balance thing now. And it's very easy to get off balance. And that's no fun. So when I step with this weight, I'm going to step wide. I'm going to widen my base. Step over a little bit. Step over. Widen your base. Bend the front knee. You're too far forward. A little more back. There. So instead of stepping like this, I want to widen my base so that I can come like this and not be off balance. Okay, I hope everybody got that. So try it with both. So I'm holding this up. Yeah, hold it. Yeah, choke up on it a bit. Choke up on your bag. Put your hands down toward the bag. There you go. Okay, bring it in. Elbows are down. Pull your foot back. Neutral. This is neutral, okay? Drop your shoulders, tight tummy. I'm gonna step forward now. I'm gonna go into a split stance lunge, the beginning of one. But I'm not gonna do anything if I get myself off balance. So when I step forward, I'm gonna step wide. Now I have a good base. And now I'm gonna bend. As I bend, I'm gonna keep my rib cage up. This is right in here, my elbows are down. I'm gonna drop down and find my low point. Go into the ball of the foot. Breath, take a breath, take a breath. Rib cage up, shoulders down. Breath through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more, 6. Now, take a breath, come up, and bring that foot back so you don't jerk your back. Okay, you're carrying a load, all right? And Maggie has a bag full of beans.
Cans.
A lot of them. Do you know how heavy beans are? They are heavy. They're dense. Okay, take a breath. So that was, now we're going to switch to the other leg. Okay, so this is down, this is rested. Rest your arms, right? Turn. Take a breath. Soften your knees. Turn. Keep your knees soft. Turn. Breath. See, I'm just doing a little rest. Okie dokie. Take a breath. Now the other leg is going to step wide and up. Now I'm going to bend I'm gonna go into like a lunge. This is gonna come right here. I'm gonna rotate into my toes and back, and I'm gonna come down as far as I can. I'm gonna see where's my lowest point. So I want you to be on your lowest point right now. Breath, breath, big breath, drop, drop, one more, drop. Okay, hold it, 1, breath, 2, breath, 3, breath, 4, come up and come back. And you should be feeling a little shaky on your legs if you did it correctly, okay? Bring this right here, keep my elbows down, there you go. And just bring it right here, bring your elbows forward. See how my elbows are forward and down? So, when you don't have your normal equipment and you need a good load just to make your muscles feel like they're working, keep your elbows in, get you a load, fill up a sack, keep your elbows in, and you're gonna act like you're gonna squat. See this? See this? Yeah, I hip hinge, I push back, I go into my heels, I come up, but I don't lock my knees. Then I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna go as far as I can with my elbows forward. Then I'm gonna come back down, bring those elbows back. I'm gonna come up, take a big breath, I'm gonna come back down. So this should be pretty heavy load for you. You got one weight, and you're pushing it right up, and you're coming right back down. You're taking a big deep breath up, then you're gonna come right back down. And you're taking a big deep breath up, and you're gonna hold it. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath. You see how I'm just doing tiny little moves? I'm not locking, I'm turning, I'm holding onto this weight, I'm holding breath, holding breath, holding breath, holding, keep your elbows in, shoulders down, bring it down, okay? Bring it down right here. Yeah, so if you can find a bag, anything that you can load to where it's gonna give you, you know, something to think about, grab it, do the lunge, split stance, dips, that we just did. Give yourself a break. Here's my chair, okay? For you guys, it's a normal chair that you have. If you're new to this move, use a wall or a high table or a high counter. It might hurt your hands, but you'll get the idea. You could do it off the edge of not this, it moves. Yeah, no, that moves. You could do it on that. It's much more comfortable. And then just do everything I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna do it, this is my chair. Okay, so this is gonna be full body load. And yeah, we could be down on the floor. You do this whole thing, in the floor. However, when you're on location, a lot of times you don't want to get in the floor because you don't know what's down there. And so we're gonna do a full body load and then we're gonna be out of here. So here's my chair. I'm gonna go wide. I'm gonna hip hinge. I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna keep my shoulders over my wrist. Okay? Michelle, can you check her? I just don't want to hurt her shoulder. Because I can't see her back here. So listen to my prompts and then help her with her body position. Or be careful with her wrist. So we're right here. And I'm going to keep my shoulder over my wrist. I'm going to step back. And I'm going to take my chest down, but I'm going to keep my elbows pointing back. I don't want to flare my elbows. And I'm just going to go down just a little bit by bending my elbow. And again, I want to, if I were with just you at home, I would likely be standing beside you, pulling your elbows in, and I'd have my fingers right here, pulling your shoulder over your wrist, because your tendency is going to be to rock back. We don't want to rock back. We want to load. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go back just a little. See, I'm not going straight, but my shoulders are over my wrist. Now when I come down, I'm going to keep my elbows headed back, not flaring. Take a big breath. Just bend it straight in your elbow. That's it. but don't go away from your wrist shoulder line. Now I'm gonna hold it right here. My shoulders are over my wrist. I'm gonna step back more, and I'm gonna stay right in there. And I'm gonna hold it right here with my elbows in. Take a big deep breath. And I'm on a straight line from my shoulder all the way to my ankle. Then when I'm ready to come out, I'm gonna push my heels down, and I should feel a big stretch coming up my calf. Big. Take a big deep breath. Keep your shoulders over your wrist. Keep your tummy in. Then when you're gonna come out of it, you're gonna bring one leg forward and one leg back. Take a big deep breath. You'd be stretching that calf. Shoulders are over the wrist. Take a big deep breath. Step back. Take the other one forward. Put that heel down. And you're starting to do a little hyperextension in the back now. Okay? Get ready. Here we go. Take a big deep breath. Big deep breath. Come up. And then push forward. So soften your knees, drop your shoulders, and really open these hips. Okay? Right there. Then you're going to come back out of it. Take a big deep breath. Little swing, little pendulum swing. Pendulum swing. Give yourself a hug. Drop your shoulders. Open. Really feel this. Drop your chin. Open. And come back down. How you doing, Maggie? I'm tired. Maggie's tired. Anyway, I hope that it helped and that you came online. Good job, you guys. Oh, stop. Stop.